The best thing you could do for the black people is to do nothing at all. That was once said by Lyndon B. Johnson, who signed into act the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And now, decades later, in California, the city of San Francisco quietly signs reparations fund that could lead to $5 million in payment per person to eligible black residents. This is so bizarre to me because if black people truly want reparations, they should go to Africa and ask the kings and the merchants who sold them off for reparations. Just like the whites that were enslaved as well. Because if you're going to give black people reparations, you should also give white people reparations as well, because we know whites were also enslaved. But you don't see any white people going to Africa and asking for reparations because they know no one's foolish enough to give them reparations. See, this is all a big agenda from the elite left that want to uh, put the narrative out there that if you're black, you're lesser than your white counterpart. If you're black, you're lesser than your Hispanic counterpart, which is just not true. And here are some sobering facts about California. Who wants to give black residents $5 million reparations? California currently is in a $1 billion deficit every year, meaning they spend more money than they bring in. They're technically bankrupt of a state. They have the highest unemployment rate in 2025. They lead in homelessness from 2013 to 2025. They saw an increase of 53% in homelessness. You have people on the street, journalists interviewing homeless people. How are you in this situation? Why are you here? Where did you come from? They'll happily tell you they came from other states to migrate into California because they know that state of California gives them a massive stipend every month. Now, of course, I'm not saying it's luxury living, but they don't have to work. There's this incentive program in California which drives up homelessness. And we know California can clean up homelessness, but they choose not to. Just like they cleaned up homelessness when Biden and Xi Jinping met in 2023 in California. They cleaned up the city. They took all those homeless people out. And the minute she left, oh, they dumped them back. Here's some more sobering facts about California. It is one of the worst tax climates in the US. It ranks 48 out of 50 states in tax competitiveness. 48 out of 50. You could guess the other two states. I happen to live in one of them, New Jersey, New York. I'm going to keep going. More people left California than they moved into 2025. So you have more companies, more people leaving California. You have tens of thousands of businesses that are like, we just can't anymore in California. The tax system is out of control. That these are all signs of a dying state. California that was once known to be this shining city state on a hill where you had the gold rush there. You had businesses flying to California. They couldn't wait to move there. You got Tesla and SpaceX that were all there. You have Chevrolet who left California. Like, we just can't because you got this greasy douchebag in California, Gavin Newsom, who is literally ruining the state and making life miserable for everyone in California. Well, good luck to him if he runs for president in 2028. He's going to get smoked. I'm going to keep going. They're number one in drug addiction, number one in gas prices, number one in retail theft. They're number one in illiteracy. I could just keep going with these facts. If you're in California and you're watching this video, I want to hear from you. Be honest. How do you feel about living in California? And if you visited California, tell me what your experience was visiting California. I've never been to California. I have no desire to go to California. I have friends who live in California, who have lived in California. I have friends who've moved out of California and said they won't go back because they don't want to pay $20 for a latte. I don't want to pay $8 for a latte that I pay in New York, New Jersey. I want to make coffee at home. So, in my little French press. But I want to hear from you in the comments. What has your experience been like in California? I mean, I hear the weather is fantastic, but that just isn't enough anymore. People could go to Florida. Look at what Ron DeSantis is doing in Florida. He's doing an excellent job, and I can't wait for him to run in 2028 for the presidency because I know he's going to run. He wants to get rid of taxes. He's eliminating, there's no income tax in Florida. He wants to get rid of property taxes in Florida as well. And Florida might be the first state to get rid of income tax and property tax. How amazing would that be for the American people to get rid of taxes? Because we know where taxes are going. They're going to fund programs that do no good for Americans, that don't deter people from being trapped into these programs that pretty much incentivize them to just stay in there. You know, they want free, they want UBI, they want free education. Um, they want a bunch of free programs. And who pays for it? It's the tax. It's the American people. It's the working class Americans who pay for this stuff. So look, I want to hear from you from California. What is your experience like? What do you think about this reparations fund that they're starting in California? I think this is a complete disaster. Peace.